This Thanksgiving, before you shovel mashed potatoes like you're in an eating competition, pause, look around. You've got more to be grateful for than you think. And if you can't find anything, you're probably not looking. Gratitude isn't about what's perfect, it's about what's present. Because there's no future what you make. So start being thankful for the one you've already built. This is Geeks from the Multiverse podcast. It's time to evolve.
Evolve, adapt, overcome. Power up your mind and level up your soul. It just takes one small step to be better.
Hey everybody, this is your boy John, aka good old Captain Mustache here. As always with me is my boy Matt, aka Mr. Grumpy Beard.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, and also, just before we go any further, we have our special guest over here. Yes, it's good old Pastor Joe from our Life Church over here that we want to bring in to talk about Thanksgiving/gratitude.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Well, see, this is why, we wanted to bring you in, and a lot of times, when we're doing a lot of our podcasts, we've actually mentioned some like religious, biblical stuff, but we haven't gone a little deeper with it because a lot of times I feel like unfortunately in this society, we're not really, I'm going to say like either well rehearsed in it or we're just afraid of talking about it because we're not trying to offend, the certain individuals and stuff. And so like, I know with scripture and biblical, and everything else in between, it's like some people just don't want to really talk about the truth about certain things. And, we actually talked about it in a long time ago when we did our Thanksgiving episode a long time ago. We actually talked about the real Thanksgiving and what it actually was based off of history.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are like, well, oh, is that really what happened? And you're like, actually, yes, that's exactly what happened. But American history, we don't really explore it because unfortunately schools and everything else, they're like, oh, we'll just give you a nicer version of what it actually is.
It's these nice pilgrims and these nice little Indians coming together and having a nice little. No, come on,
Yep.
right?
Oh, no, they're massacring each other, unfortunately, but that was the truth. Like, there's no ways to go about it. But I think what I'm going to ask you real quick is, in your, I guess, definition of what grateful is, and being thankful and things like that, what would you say in your version? Like, what would that look like?
What does that look like to be grateful, just in general?
Or just in general, or even just, even if it's about the day or just, just every day.
I mean, just to talk for myself for a second, I'm a pretty optimistic, thankful person in and of myself. I don't know if I'm just wired that way or maybe just in what I do in life, but I'm just grateful. But I'm finding in the culture that we live in, our society, it's hard for people to be grateful. I mean, we got pressures of life, we got everything going on around us. So certainly, I'm grateful, and I love when I see other people who are grateful, especially when they're going through difficult things. I think that's the big thing. Anyone can be grateful, thankful, things are going good.
No, I mean, you got a good point there. I mean, it seems like when you're going through crisis, right? It's a lot of heartache and it's a lot of hardship, and so it's funny when you see somebody, who's going through a difficult time, and you're saying, okay, well, let me give you the jacket off my back and say, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what? Even though I'm going through a very difficult time, let's say I'm homeless and this and that, and you're like, here you go.
Yeah.
Showing that appreciation, saying, hey, I know I'm going through something, but clearly right now you're probably going through a lot worse than I am.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like now, especially where, unfortunately with our current events, of society, it's very hard to see more of that, like those acts of giving and those acts of kindness to, individuals. And I think that it's very rare now. And unfortunately, because like, especially in New England, where, you go down south, you see that Southern hospitality, right? And then here you're like, I'm not going to actually say it, but basically, hey, what the hell are you looking at? Like, why are you in my face? Kind of like in your, you're trying to push them away.
Yeah.
And you don't want anything to do with them, and that's unfortunately, the sad truth of, really being in New England versus down there.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Matt? Because I know you got something to say.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of negativity, and I think with society, it's funny. It's one of those funny things, like when November comes, because I think a lot of people like, oh, it's November 1st. I got to be grateful, and then December comes and it's like, where does the gratefulness go?
Mhm.
Right? Like, then we get into January and then March, and then the gratefulness just sort of like
Yeah, it
Yep.
just dissipates.
it
Yep.
just it
Yep.
just vanishes, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, my job sucks, and my life sucks, and my marriage sucks, and my dog died, and
Yep.
my cat needs a bath now, and what the hell? Like, what do I have to look forward to now?
Well, I'm even gonna go further than that. I mean, it's funny when you look at holidays, right? Just in general. So like when you look at Valentine's Day as a prime example,
Mhm.
you look at it as, okay, well, I need to, either find love or you're in love and you're trying to show your appreciation.
Yep.
Why is it just one day? Why is it that we can't spread our love throughout the year? Like you're saying about, Thanksgiving and like being thankful and grateful, because that's that same concept, because you need to be able to show it at least or I'm not saying every day, but at least enough where you're saying, okay, yes, I love you. I appreciate you. I do what I can. And it may not be every day, but at least I'm showing you that stuff. And so like even the gratefulness, even that being that thankful and that kind, like to me, like it's an embodiment. Like you have to physically do it, every day. Like it's like you have to almost like wire your brain or like even ingrain it into yourself. It's like a habit. Like you have to do it
Yeah.
every day.
Well, I mean, it starts I think with just being aware, and I think so many people, you know, they live their lives like they scroll through Facebook.
Correct.
Like it's just like that constant doom scrolling through their lives. Like they look for what's next. They're looking at what's wrong. They're comparing themselves to everybody else's highlight reels on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Instagram models, but
Well, I mean, you're looking at what everybody else, like all the good things that people are posting.
Yeah.
And I mean, half the time when I go on, I mean, when I go on Facebook, I'm just scrolling. I'm not really looking at most of the things that the people I follow on Facebook are posting.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
I'm looking at ads and other things. So I'm not looking at like what people are actually posting, but people are not posting how their life sucks, right? Like they're not posting like, hey,
no.
I just lost my job. Look how great I am.
Right.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you're looking at the best things that people are doing, and then you're comparing yourselves to that and going, wow, my life really
Yeah.
sucks that I don't have anything to post.
Feels like
Right,
their
like-
their highlight reel
Yeah.
is what you're looking at, and you're right. I like that, Matt. You're comparing it to your life, and you're like, wow, like this is not where I'm at.
Right.
And then you're right. It gets sad. It gets depressing. It's like, and it's hard to find thankfulness in your own stuff. You got your own job going on. Maybe you have a health concern going on. Your relationship things not going right, and then you're just kind of looking at that and going, man. And then how do I expect to be thankful
Right.
in that?
Yeah.
well, I mean, I was going to say on Facebook, I know you keep sending me messages, but that's
Yeah.
just a different story. But
That's a different story altogether. But it's one of those things, like it starts with the awareness, and I guess the first thing that we're saying is like you can't be thankful, you can't be grateful for things that you don't notice, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can't see like what's good, it's not because it's not there, it's because you're not looking.
Mm.
When you constantly scroll through Facebook, you're not really looking, you're just
Yeah.
scrolling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why November, when you said that, we kind of perk up in November, and then you said how it even goes away by December, January. I think it's that awareness by default because we have that holiday. And it's
Right.
like, oh, I should be grateful. I should be thankful. And we do, some of us, but it's very
It's very
I feel it's very
small, yeah.
compartmentalized,
Right.
right? And maybe we'll go through that for a week, or then of course through Thanksgiving, and but it's hard to live it out. And I think you're right. I think we need to be intentional, be aware of it, and we need.
And even some of the people in the families out there that do hey, November 1st, I'm grateful for this.
Yeah.
It's done there. It's not like something they're constantly thinking about all day. They might share it out, and maybe somebody will look at it and go, oh yeah, I am kind of grateful for this too.
Yeah.
But I think after that initial thought, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I can go on my day.
Yep.
And sure, they're grateful for whatever that thing was.
oh yeah,
But I think after that, like, what else is there? I'm
Yep.
sure maybe after the 30 days or whatever, they have the 30 things.
Yep.
But what happens December 1st
Mm.
or December 12th?
Yeah.
Well,
Are you just done being grateful? Is it just those things that you're grateful for? And you're just like, well, I guess I can just go back to being,
I'm sorry. Oh,
You
no.
turn from being grateful to then all of a sudden now it's Christmas time. Oh, now I need to be generous, right?
Well,
And it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden I'm generous at Christmas, but then that probably like being thankful goes away. And then, like you said,
Yeah.
John, then Valentine's Day comes up. Oh, I need to be loving. So we go
Right.
from thankfulness to generous to loving, and but there's like you're saying, Matt, there's these it's a small window sometimes, very small window.
Right.
One day where we're like loving, you know,
Yeah.
but the week before, the week after, what? Not very loving people sometimes.
No, and actually, you actually made a good point, Joe, is that, you're right. And, when you go from Thanksgiving
Mm.
being thankful and, being giving in that sense, like,
Yeah.
you're right, especially around Christmas time, and it's funny where I think people think that Christmas time, it has to be on Christmas Eve or like
Mhm.
actually on Christmas. And, it should be the same way even with Thanksgiving in the sense, but I mean, granted, I'm talking about it should be all year, but,
Yeah.
if we want to start somewhere, right? If you're making like for me, I know in my family, like Christmas, it never actually is usually on Christmas. It's usually whatever day we can get together and celebrate, the times together and that stuff. Thanksgiving should be the same way, where in the month of again November, I mean, I know that's what we've established here, but it should be like, okay, well, maybe I start acting as such. Maybe, you start doing certain things. Maybe you start to notice, okay, like I do see this individual that is, in a crisis or in something that it needs to be happening. And, instead of just sitting there,
Mhm.
being a bystander, taking that charge, taking that lead, showing like, hey, let me try to help in whatever way that I can
Yeah.
at first. Right. And now I'm
Right.
not, again, I know it's not like an overnight change, but at least if you're moving forward with it and you're not just sitting there, waiting for something good to happen, like to be that positive change, like every time that we go to church on Sunday, every time that you guys have talked about all the different things that are going on, I'm like, wow. And that's every single
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that you want to see more people do, and that's the kind of thing that I want to inspire to, because that's the thing where I think people just need to realize, this is how you start to change.
Yeah.
This is how you start to show, again, the thankfulness, this gratefulness.
Something I've heard that people do is they make it a point every day. It's almost like a rhythm or something that they do every day, as if you would take a shower or you would brush your teeth. They would say something they are grateful for
Mhm.
at the beginning of their day. And I think that's a really awesome thought. That could be really helpful to get your day going, knowing that you're going to face things that day that are going to be difficult, that are going to be challenging. But I've heard people who do that every single day, waking up in the morning, and it's there, and one of the
Yeah.
things you do.
Well, I will say a little quick thing, and I know we'll get moving forward with it, is that, being military and being on a deployment and stuff. Now, granted, when I was deployed and stuff, yes, I mean, every day
Mhm.
I was saying to myself, I'm grateful right now, because I know that, back home, maybe there's stuff going on, whatever the case is, but, not knowing what's going to happen in a moment's notice and things like that. And you're constantly aware of, the situations that are going on, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, am I, and I hate saying it like this, but, am I going to come back home? Am I going to be, coming back to my family in that time, during those moments? But, I mean, and I would want to probably say this is that and unfortunately, it should be like that every day. Like you should think to yourself, like, I'm grateful for right now. I'm grateful for this moment, because if I go to sleep, am I going to be here the next day?
Mm.
Am I going to be
Right.
what I need to be for the next day, and so on and so forth? And so, like, you're right. I think that's where, that mindset, that kind of like you're saying, like routine, or even just like that behavior.
Yep.
Like if you started there,
Yeah.
then, that's where all of this can start to at least, become fruition, and so, yeah. I mean, this is some good stuff. I mean, we're not even further in this.
Yeah, I
is
know
like-
we're not even.
we're not even further
Yeah.
in. This is great.
But I think going back to the point of observation, I think a lot of what we do is, not me, but we as
Mhm.
people and humans, we chase like what's missing, right? Like the truth of life is that people's lives are not empty,
Right.
unless you're literally sitting maybe in a cave and
Yeah.
there's nothing around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
then maybe there's nothing. But
Yeah.
for most of us, if you're hearing this, there's something around you because you have to be listening, right? And it's right underneath your nose if you just stop and look around. And it's like the chaos of work, bills, stress, social media. Like I think we've trained our brains to filter out
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah. Wow.
It's the chaos, it's the negativity. We've just marinated
Hmm.
ourselves into it that we aim for it. It's not like we do it consciously, but maybe subconsciously. It's just we just drive for it. Where when we have a moment of peace, we have to fill it
Hmm.
with something.
Yep.
And then when we look around and we go, "Oh wow, that kind of sucks."
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just when we find that peace, we just don't know what to do with it because we don't know that it's good.
Well, it kind of reminds me of mindfulness. Taking that moment for a minute and like realizing you're here in the present and not thinking about what's in the future, what's in the like what was done in the past.
Mhm.
Taking that moment. A lot of people will say like it's meditation. I'm like, in some ways, yes, but at the same time, it's realizing like, okay, in this moment, I'm breathing, I'm listening to myself. Taking that pause, right?
Yes.
Instead of feeling like all that stuff where you're filling that void, the chaoticness of everything else that's going on in your life. Taking that pause, taking that step, and saying, okay, now how can I be, let's say, better in this next moment, or how can I do something a little differently?
And I think that's where gratitude starts.
Right.
Right. That's the moment when you stop chasing that drama long enough to see that there's been good things all around you the whole time.
Right.
But you have to start somewhere, right? You
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like, oh, like like the light is shining down from a cloud and the
Oh.
end of the rainbows, right? Like,
No.
I thought you were talking about Halo for a second. Oh, no, sorry.
no, like it doesn't. It's not like you have some big revelation and it's like, oh my god, the light is
Oh, no.
shining
No,
on me
no, yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like
At least it's not the Holy Grail, and it's like like Mighty Python. You're like, oh, hey, no, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. But if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. But no, I do agree.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like almost having an epiphany.
It's
Like,
just painfully, like the notes say, it's painfully ordinary.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's a quiet morning when you're like, man, it's just so peacefully quiet.
Yeah.
And maybe like you've had crying kids, the dog just doesn't stop barking.
Matt,
the
can you
neighbors
stop-
are
Can you stop talking about my life, man? It's like, no.
the neighbors are shouting and the dog next door is barking. It's like you get up and it's like there's no noise, there's no nothing. It's like, wow. Nothing.
This
You know
is
what I mean?
great.
It's just nice. Or maybe it's like somebody, you
Yeah.
have that one friend that just calls and,
Oh, yeah.
hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that one friend that checks on you or,
Huh.
I mean, I don't have a small kid that laughs.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously my
Yeah.
kids are my kids are older now, but I mean, maybe it's like you have a younger kid and it's just your kid just gives that laugh that somehow just makes you smile, and it just
Yep.
every ounce of frustration that you had or whatever you were feeling just
Mhm.
leaves in that second, and you're like,
Mhm.
but that's where I think that's where like in that just ordinary moment, that's where that gratitude really starts. And if you don't take
Mm.
that moment of looking at it and going, I am really grateful for this moment right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
you'll just miss it.
I think you're absolutely right. It really is in the ordinary, everyday, smallest moments you could possibly think of. Those could be special moments. I remember even getting a text, or not getting a text message, sending a text message to somebody. And for them, they came back to me days later and said, when you sent that text message, like that was the game changer of my day, of my life kind of thing. And you're like, well, that's pretty dramatic. It's just a text message. Or I've sent a card to someone before, a handwritten card, and they've told me years later, hey, I still got that handwritten card on my desk that you sent me, 8 years ago. And I'm like, what? It's because
Seriously?
it was something so simple, right? We can all do that.
Right.
Write
yeah,
a card,
yeah.
send a text message. It's small. But you see the huge difference it makes. Then it also kind of exposes the emptiness that is out there, that people are not getting this, right? People are not receiving
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was just thinking about kind of a weird, I guess, side tray, like little conversation here, but like I like Veterans Day, for example. I know recently just happened, of course, and my wife's and I are like anniversary. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, man, congratulations, happy anniversary, all this stuff." And I know my wife is very much, she'll look through and look all the comments, and I'm just like, "That's great. I appreciate like the love and all
Mhm.
this stuff." But then at the same time, I was more thinking to myself, like, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for that as well. But at the same time, I'm more grateful and thankful for the fact that I'm spending time with my wife and my kid at that time, and being in the moment with them, because, again, like you're saying, like you've already, like, yes, you have grown up kids right now, and I know you as well, or kind of like in between, I would
Mhm.
assume, right?
Yep.
So, I'm just starting that. And so I'm like, I'm trying to enjoy what I can now
Yeah.
because I know time flies really
Oh, it
quick.
does.
And so that's my point. And so, like, when people text me and I'm like, I'm grateful for that. And I do, but I'm like, I'm more in the moment
Yeah.
because the longer you're in that moment, like, you just want to keep it. You just want to keep,
Yes.
doing that. But like, I think people will say that when you're, constantly, getting that love and attention too, you do want to find that peace. You do want to find that inner, like, zen, I guess, if you want to call it, right? You want to be able to just have that moment of silence to then reflect on those things as well. And I think with our society, like, we're having this almost like the instant gratification thing, where I think people also need to take that step back and say, okay, well, it's okay to be patient
Yep.
because things won't happen all at
Oh,
once.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a quote in the notes that was perfect for what you were just saying, Pastor Joe, because the quote in the notes was, "Gratitude doesn't require a miracle; it just requires your attention."
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
which was great for what you were saying, where if you just show up, and I mean, it goes kind of into the next point because it says gratitude doesn't come from perfection; it just comes from presence,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what the quote is saying. I mean, it's just saying it just requires you to be present.
Mhm.
It
Right.
requires you to do something. Like, the world's always going to be broken.
Yeah.
Society's going to be the way it is.
Yep.
One person, a podcast, whatever.
Right.
It's not going to, like, we're not changing the mark.
Yep.
It's not moving the needle at all. But there is beauty hiding between the cracks. You just have to look at it.
Look,
It-
because I know with us talking, like, there are some cracks in our in the way we talk, but
Yes,
but
yes.
you're right though. But it's very, you know, we may not always be perfect because I always tell people, I'm like, we're not the best podcasters in the world here, but we do what we love,
Yeah.
and we're grateful that we
Yes.
can have this opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, that's the thing where you're having that passion, and I think with this as well, again, with the whole perfection piece, we strive to be the most perfect versions of ourselves, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're only comparing it to, honestly, yourself. Like, it's not anyone else. It's literally just like, where am I at now, and how am I going to get to that?
Mm.
We'll call that better version, and will you ever get to that better version?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think one of the hardest truths is that gratitude will never erase the pain. If, whatever trauma or whatever pain that you're feeling, gratitude doesn't erase it, but it does reframe it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
It'll basically say, like, yeah, life is hard right now, but there's still something in front of me worth noticing. And that's,
Yeah, you keep preaching, man. Keep going.
but that, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, gratitude will never get rid of the pain. It just reframes it in a way that will say,
Yeah.
yes, there are things in front of you or around you that is worth noticing.
I love that, Matt, because one of the things that I do as a pastor is I'm in people's lives in difficult times, right? People, they've lost somebody, they're in grief. I'm the one who shows up, or they lost their job, or they're having a relationship issue. And so going into those situations, they are real. You don't start out with jumping in with, well, you just need to be grateful, right? You still have, that's not where I start.
I mean,
But
that's.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, like,
I
whoa,
mean,
was
well,
that
yeah.
Pastor Joe?
Of course, right? Of course, that's not where you start. But in my mind, and because of the way that I'm wired, and even because of my relationship with God,
Mm.
it's where I want to eventually end the conversation. Right? You meet them there in their grief and in their situation, and they lost their job, and it's real, and you can't make light of that, and it's painful, it's hurtful, but you get to the place where, okay, we're still going to be grateful. We're still going to believe in a God who's going to, if we bring these things to Him, You know, he's going to help you through it. And it brings this sense of, okay, I can still be grateful in the midst of this, right? I still have this, I still have that. And so it's one of the things that I really enjoy in the midst of working with a lot of people who go through a lot of hard things.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, actually, you know what? I'll try it. I'll try this next little part here. It's the scripture.
Oh.
Real quick. I'm just gonna try one real quick. I never said I was the greatest at this. Okay. There's gonna be fair warning right now. So, Psalm 34:8. Okay. It says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Gratitude begins with awareness, with seeing what God's already done." That's a good one, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just me, but
Hey, I think you did great, John.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate
Good.
it. I mean, because I don't normally do that, so
Yeah.
that's something I need to work on.
There's also a good contemporary worship song with that.
Oh.
That verse. I'm sure you must have heard
I'm trying
it.
to think which one it is.
I'm not singing it, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, are you? Come on, man. I know you're in
Wow.
no, I'm not singing it,
You
but
could pull out your bass. You are a great bass player, but
No,
taste
sorry.
and see. Yeah. And that's almost a call to us, right? Go ahead and taste and see. Come find out that the Lord is good, right? It's that beckoning from him to come and see, be aware. That's that awareness piece kicking in, saying, "Oh, come and see that I am good." And he is good. And we go through a lot of stuff, which we're being really honest here about.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, and in the midst of our day, we can turn to God, and this scripture can be true. And if we'll lean into, if we will step into it, he invites us, right? Would you say? Is it come and see, or taste and see that the Lord is? It's like
Yeah,
an
taste and see,
invitation.
yep.
Yeah. So that's like a calling to come and see. And remember, did you say about the past, right? Thinking about the past things that
Oh,
he's
yep,
done,
yep.
and who he is God in general, and who he will be in the future, and all that he is. Oh, it is a moment for pause. We think about being grateful. I love that scripture, John.
Well, I'm glad, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad
Wow.
found it. He was just like, I'm just going to write that in real quick. No, but of course yes. If you ever just want to look at the Bible, yes.
Yeah.
By the way, there it is. But
good.
yes, no. I was going to say, is there another? Maybe it doesn't have to be in here, but do you know of like any other quotes that you think what we were just talking about like kind of ties in?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you guys invited me here. One of my favorite verses, and a great verse on being grateful, is in Colossians 3:17. It says, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." And I just love that, because it's whatever we do in our lives, and this idea of words and deeds, whatever we say, whatever we do, we need to be grateful in it. And then along with another scripture verse, and I can't remember where it's at, but it talks about in all things be thankful. In all things be thankful.
it's actually right
have
here.
it?
Yeah, it's I'm gonna try to say it without the
Okay, go
First
for it.
Thessalonians.
That's perfect.
There it is. Yeah. 5:18. It's give thanks in all circumstances, not for all things, but in all
Oh,
things.
wow. Well,
Because
we could
God's
unpack-
presence is the constant good in every
Oh,
season.
man.
Yeah.
We could unpack that. I mean, like, so wow, what a, and this was written by Paul, the apostle, to one of the churches there. And he was telling them through God, of course, like in all, and that's kind of a big call, isn't it? In all.
Yeah.
So, but I like how it's framed out there. Can you repeat that one part? It says,
Not for all things, but in all things.
yes,
Yeah, I do like that.
I do.
I like how he differentiates, like, don't give thanks in for all things,
Yeah.
but in all things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, because it really is in those
Makes a
tough
difference,
times,
yeah.
in the moments of some of the hardest times in our lives, we're asked to still be grateful and still be thankful. I know those words cross over. I'm sure there's a difference between them, but the idea that in them all, and that is, boy, that is, if we're going to be honest, that's a challenge. But
Yeah.
over time, as you begin to do that, it really can become a lifestyle. It really can become a mindset that, okay, yes, I just lost my job. Like, this really, really stinks right now.
Yeah. No,
How can I still be grateful and thankful?
So I was gonna say this is that when you did you let your hands out and you were just gonna, I thought you were gonna be like, so guys, what's the answer? Like, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't know, Joe. What are you gonna say right now? No, I do agree with that. I do highly, it should be like that all the time. It should be that mindset, the mindset lifestyle because it actually goes into our next talking point.
I was
which,
going to say that was a great segue
it
because
is.
the gratefulness versus thankfulness, because
Mm.
although yes, they sound like they're twins, right? They sound like they might ride in the same car,
Yeah.
but they sit in different seats,
Right.
right? Gratitude is definitely a mindset. It's the awareness of the good in your life, but thankfulness is what you do with
Mm.
that
Oh.
awareness.
I like how you broke that out. Yeah, that's good. So that's kind of the response, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so gratitude is the awareness, thankfulness is the obedience.
It's the obedience through
Yeah.
it. Mm.
Well, so again, so like gratitude is the realization that something is good, where thankfulness is the response that proves you know it.
Yeah.
So once, well, again, one happens in your heart, the other shows up in your hands, your words, and your actions.
Yes.
So I like that. I do. I like that kind of that also
Right.
breakdown of it, because when you're looking at gratitude, you're like, yeah, that's right. That's a good thing.
Yep.
That's a good thing to do. But we always talk about, and I'm going to say this more as men. Okay, we always say that men, we have usually, if we lose our word, we become nothing,
Mm.
right? Because again, if you say yes, I'm going to do that for you, okay, well that means you're going to follow through with that, right?
Yeah.
So as I look at this, it's like, yes, your thankfulness is showing, like, I'm showing you my word. I'm showing you my actions behind what I'm going to do and the intent. And I
Yeah.
think that when people lose, their word or their trust, or the honesty, all these different things in between, I think that people tend to, I want to say, just I see, now I'm stuttering, Matt. Thanks, Matt. No, I just think that it's one of those things that people tend to, like, kind of go back, and they get, like, to retract themselves, and they don't really, I guess the best way to put it is, like, they don't, like, become a better version of themselves, because they just want to go back to their old ways, right? They don't want to try to prove themselves higher than what they could be. And so
Right.
I think, with this, you could be, like you're saying before, like, you could be in the worst state of mind,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that you can't show people these actions or these
Mhm.
things. And so, when people say, okay, well, I'm not really a great person, or I can't be that version of whatever you're trying to say it is. Well, you can.
Mhm.
You just have to
Yeah.
realize all this for a second.
And I think the real difference between the two is, I mean, for one, I mean, if you have that one person who's on Facebook November 1st and they go all the way through the month of November, right? And I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my dog. I'm great. They
Yeah.
go through the month and they just every day there's a different thing they're grateful for. But you can go through and you go, well, you're grateful for your friends. Do you reach out to them?
Mm.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm grateful for my wife. Oh, how often do you actually talk to her? How often do you
Right.
go on dates? Like, how is your relationship with her? Well, it's not great.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not. I mean, you're grateful, right? You have the feeling of being grateful,
Yeah.
but the action of thankfulness, if you never express it, who cares, right? Like, at that point, who cares? Sure, I get it. Like,
Mm.
if it makes you feel better about being grateful, but
Yeah.
Right. There's no.
if you don't express it, it's not an outward expression of gratefulness or gratitude. It's just an internal
Yeah.
thing for yourself to make yourself feel better, but it doesn't make anybody else around you.
Yeah. Man,
You know what I mean? Like,
that's a
No.
great thought. I'm thinking as you're talking, that it has to be that action, right? You feel grateful, but then if you don't, what you're saying, and I actually heard this in a sermon. I remember the sermon right now of another pastor who gave, and that's exactly what he said. He was talking about, if you don't express your gratefulness actually by and doing something with it, being thankful, then you weren't actually grateful for it to begin with. I know it's kind of strong, but
Yeah.
it's like you said, I can say I love my wife, but those are just words on a Facebook post or something, if you're not living it out. And so I always remembered that. That was years ago. He said, if we're not being thankful, if we're not putting words behind it, or doing something with it, or putting in action, we're grateful for somebody that did something for us, but have we actually went up to them and said, hey, I'm really thankful for what you did?
right.
Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget to do that, or just don't do it. And he was just challenging us in that sermon. to just go and do something. Be the voice or show the action that you are actually grateful. That means that you actually were.
Oh no,
I was like, wow, that was
no,
strong.
I honestly agree. I mean, because I mean, just a personal example. I mean, for well, actually, recently, so with my wedding anniversary, this and that, and my buddy right here actually just got me these monitors, and I was like, I said some words I probably shouldn't have at the time. I mean, I know we're joking, I was joking with him at the time, but basically I was like, listen, man, you didn't have to do that. He's like, no, I want to because, you've been there for me, you've been that guy for me, for so many years now. And my wife also I think it was the next day, this Matt can attest to this. This whole desk was a complete disaster. And it's been and I'll say it, I don't care. It was a disaster for a long
It was
time.
a disaster for
And
a
it
long
was
time.
it was
yes.
bad. And so my wife was nice enough to do that for me, even though like actually I was going to do it today or sometime this weekend. And she was like, "No, I want you to know that I care about you and that you've done a lot for us, and I want to show you kind of like that thankful, that gratitude."
Wow.
And and I thought to myself, like, I was like, wow, like not saying I wasn't deserving of it
Yeah.
by any means, but I always tell my wife, especially when I come home late or something like that, and she's like, I made you dinner, I did all this, like all these little things, and I know some people will say, well, you just take advantage of that. Actually, I don't. Because I try. The one thing that I always try to do is I always say when I get home, I'm like, is there other things that you want me to do?
Yeah.
To try to say, hey, guess what? You're not alone
Yep.
in this. And so she's like, well, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. Do what you got to do. And I said, okay. And I said, do you know why I ask you? And I asked her this, and she said, no, I don't actually know why you asked me this question. I said, it's because I've seen too many people
Yep.
take advantage. They, it's like they become basically resentful. They get all these negative feelings for so long because you're taking advantage of this kindness,
Yeah.
this thankfulness, there's all these things. And you end up again, unfortunately, divorce and so many other things that come into play. And I tell her, I'm like, I don't want that for us.
Yep.
I want to be a team. I want us to be, working as a dual unit of like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do this together. And I think where, like you're going to say, Matt, too, and probably in a minute is like, as friends like him and I mean, yes, I know everyone's like, well, you probably just hang out only during the podcast. I'm like, you're probably right. Yes, we need to work better on certain things, but like, I appreciate the hell out of him every single time because there are things that he does
Yeah.
that I know I can't do. And like he appreciates the fact that I like to talk to people and he just doesn't want to talk to people. But my point is we
That
have
is very true. That is very
That's
true.
awesome.
it's that dynamic. And so like, I always try to show people like, listen, I'm like, you may not think that you're doing a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm saying like, no, I appreciate all the things that I know I can't do,
Yeah.
or the other, like, I'm not saying weaknesses, but like, the compensation for those strengths that you have to
Yeah.
show that. And so I think, with this, it's just like, that's the kind of stuff we need to start doing with, again, our family, our friends, people around us that,
Yeah.
that make us try to be better,
It's been a problem. I know that's a drastic way to say it, a problem to show our thankfulness, but I'll say it that way. It's been a problem for mankind for a long time. Even when I look back at a Bible story, it's written 2,000 years ago when Jesus walked on this earth. There was a time he was with 10 people. I don't know where it's found, but he told them to go somewhere to receive the healing, and they actually went, and actually all of them got healed for whatever was going on, all of them. And then the Bible says that one came back and thanked him. That's literally what the word says. One of them came back, and Jesus said to him, where are the other 9? It was like, so anyways, and there's more to the story, but the point is, isn't it interesting? I mean, that was like literally a physical healing. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
It's something you would think you'd want to take the time for, to come back and like literally, I mean, at the very least, thank you. And I don't know if Jesus, I mean, sounded like Jesus was surprised. He was trying to be helpful and loving to them, and he brought them healing in their life. And so again, you think about that then, it's now.
Well, I'm also going to say this. I also feel like, maybe the others just, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have, been grateful for that, but what about that trust? Basically leading them, I'm not saying that would have happened, but let's say they're not maybe they thought maybe they're not worthy, maybe they're not
Oh, yeah.
trusting, maybe they're not trying to be honest with themselves. Like, is this something that I can deal with? Like, is this something like even though that one was like, yep, thank you, I appreciate you helping me, but those others might have thought like, is this something that is actually going to be helpful, or is this going to be making it worse for me? Like, so there's
there's a
thoughts,
multi. I mean, there's.
I was just saying like that. That's how
I mean,
could
there
view
could have been a
this.
multitude of
Oh,
things.
yeah,
happening. I mean,
yeah.
there could have been like, oh my God, I'm healed. I got to go tell my family.
Exactly.
I mean, there could have been
exactly.
like 100 things going on at that time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, there's
Well,
a lot.
to your point though, Matt,
Yeah.
when you were like saying that, like that's an action to actually go and be thankful. Like
Right.
to
That
do
one
something
guy
with your
actually did
gratefulness.
the action of
Yeah.
going back and being like,
Yeah,
thank you for healing me.
yeah. I think they were all grateful. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm guessing all of them had to be so grateful.
It was just that one guy actually put the action
Put the
behind
action.
it. And this is where we're saying, like, yeah, you could be grateful for your friends,
Yeah.
but actually being thankful
Mm,
is you sending them a text that's saying, like, hey, I appreciate you,
Yeah.
instead of assuming they already know.
yes.
It's okay. I just do that on
Or-
the podcast. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Or being grateful for your job. Sure, you can be thankful for your job, but
Yeah.
thankfulness means that you show up with integrity and
Oh,
you
wow,
do
that's
you do
good.
your best even
Get 'em.
when nobody's noticing.
Yep.
Ready? Get him, man. Get him.
Wow, Matt.
You could be grateful for grace,
Oh,
but thankfulness means you live like you've already received it, right?
hey, Matt.
Not like you're still
Wow.
trying to earn it.
That's good, Matt.
Are you trying to get a pastor job by any chance? Are you trying to like go down that road?
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's
but
awesome.
but I mean it's the truth. I mean
Yeah,
there's a difference between being grateful
Yes.
and it's just kind of it's like the first step. Like, oh, I'm grateful for my friends.
Yep. Yep.
Crickets, right?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm sure John knows I'm grateful. Crickets,
Sure he
crickets. But does he?
Oh, you're so right, man.
Right, like-
question
so
mark.
right. Yeah.
My wife knows I'm grateful for
Yeah.
her,
Yep.
but does she?
She ever heard me say
Right,
it?
like-
Has she ever? Yes.
I'm grateful for my job,
Yep.
but do I show up like
Mhm.
I'm grateful for my job? Or do I just show up and I sit at my desk and I go, man, this job sucks.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yep, no.
Matt's like,
I do. I do.
I do,
No,
but
I do, but I still work like I want to be there.
yes.
Like I don't just, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to work,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then I'm out here. Like, like
Like, peace.
rushing out of the door at 4:28 because, well, I can't stay 2 more minutes because God forbid, like
Right.
I
Right.
stay 2 more minutes.
But
But
you're grateful for your job, but what you're saying is even in the way you work, the integrity of, maybe if you imagine this, you stayed a couple minutes later at your job just to finish up that deal that needed to be done
Right.
and didn't just be like, well, hey, my time's up. It's not on me.
yeah,
But you're showing thankfulness.
I'm not dealing with that
Bye.
because it's outside of my purview. No, like,
Exactly.
just-
That's your gratefulness now being showed out.
I'm going to give my best no matter what, even
Yeah.
if I'm
I love it.
not making what I think I should be worth.
Yeah.
No, you have the job that you have.
Yep.
Be grateful for it.
Yep.
If there's something better, go for it. But be grateful for what you have. I mean, you can think,
Oh, yeah.
grateful thoughts all day, but
yeah.
until you live them, they're just ideas, right? Like that's really what they are.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this little quote here. Don't just be grateful for people. Be thankful to them. I don't know. I mean, I know we've been talking a lot about it, but
Yeah,
I found
that's
that
it.
like that. There you go. That just sums
That's
up
it.
basically
That-
what we talk about.
That's it.
All right, now wrap it up, boys. No, it's like-
I mean, that is the action. That is
Yeah.
the action behind it. And it is amazing how much that actually does filter into literally who we are as people, our integrity. It's this whole being grateful, then turning into, action, being then thankfulness. It really influences who we are and how people perceive us. It bleeds into a lot of who we are in life. So it's something, as we're made aware of this, even through this podcast, it's gonna strike us like almost like November 1st is like strikes us every year. Like, oh wow, I need to do something with this now.
well, see, now I have the greatest question to ask you, and it's totally off the fly here.
Oh boy.
So Matt and I, a while back, we were talking about, we wanted to like get people a part of a network of like podcasters. So what I'm saying
okay.
is that maybe if you ever thought, hey, maybe you want to start a podcast, we could mentor, right? We could mentor people to do said podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it
Wow.
out there. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to. It's just a thought, right? I'm just throwing it out into the universe here. Just letting you let that sink in for a
Yeah.
second because, hey, you never know. Because guess what? You just found out that talking on a mic is like the weirdest thing for you, which is okay.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know? But
This is crazy. This little headset we got on and these big
The more,
microphones.
the more you do it,
It's-
the more normal
It
it
does,
actually
yeah, yeah,
becomes. But
yeah.
yeah,
I'll tell you, like we, in the very beginning, and we've said this multiple times, but
it's the most awkward
we,
thing.
we spent 4 hours. Ready? Hold on. We spent 4 hours,
hours.
recording
Yeah.
a minute and a half. 4 hours, and that was the first time we
That
ever recorded. It was
great.
because we were literally recording like a.
It was an
It was, like
intro.
it was an
Yeah.
intro or ad or something. It was that bad, and we were just like, all right, whatever. So like we kept doing it. We kept doing it. We kept doing it.
4 hours. Yeah.
4 hours.
Wow.
Now, but again, we've been doing this long enough now that we know, like, okay, we'll probably need like, 4-ish hours, depending on like time and all this stuff. But, we just realized like it's a rhythm, right?
Yep.
Because, for you, right, I'll say it. Maybe I'm just saying it right now, but you're grateful, right, for the opportunity. But see, now we're giving you, the thankfulness of,
Yeah.
coming on here and being able to, spread the word, spread the
Yeah.
wisdom that, you have also imparted onto us, and being able
Right.
to, do this right now. See,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see how you went.
He's
from
like,
grateful
he's like,
to
don't even start with
thankfulness."
me over here.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing to bring it back, I mean,
Yes, he's
gratitude
like, "Pull
does
them back."
say, I see good. Thankfulness says I'm going to honor it. So it's the thing that's like, one of the weird things, and I'm trying to wrap my brain around some of these notes because they're weird. But if we stop at gratitude, it's like charging your phone and never unplugging it. It's like, sure, you've got power, but you're not really using it. You're
Yep.
just keeping it plugged in.
Yep.
Yep.
Thankfulness is when you take your phone off of the charger and you're actually using that power. You're putting it into motion.
Yeah.
If you just leave it plugged in, one, you're tied to the wall or wherever you're at. You're not moving anywhere.
Yep.
But now you can take your phone wherever you want, and you can literally put that power into
Into action.
action.
Yeah. I love it.
So it's about, I mean, thankfulness in the end is about responding. So I guess the question here is really, I mean, there are some Bible scriptures here. One of them you've already read,
Yeah.
which is the Colossians 3:17. But what does the Bible say about the difference between gratefulness and thankfulness?
Are you giving him that one? Or
Yeah, I was giving it.
Boy,
I was giving it.
now
to
I
him.
just off the top of my head, oh boy, there is a verse in the Bible that automatically comes to my head. It says, "Faith without works is dead."
Ooh.
Now that's on maybe on a more grander scale, but the idea.
That's actually one in the notes too.
Is it
actually.
really?
Yeah. James 2:17.
Oh wow! I didn't even know it was.
Faith by itself,
Where do you get these notes at? Goodness
if it is
sakes.
not accompanied by action, is dead.
Okay. Wow.
Gratitude by faith is recognized. Thankfulness is faith expressed.
Yeah.
That's the, I guess, commentary. if
Yeah,
you will.
that is the commentary of
Yeah.
it. Like we could have faith for stuff, but if we're not actually working out our faith, doing something, that's what it's basically saying. It totally ties in with being grateful, but then you do something with it is how you're, by being thankful. We have faith in stuff, but then we don't put it into action. It's dead. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and then the other scripture is Psalm 100,
Mhm.
verse 4, which is, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise."
Mm.
Gratitude opens a door, but thankfulness walks through it.
Wow, let me think about that. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do like that little commentary at the end, because gratitude is what opens the door. But if you only open the door,
Yeah.
then I guess you only really get to stare on what's like, you only
Yeah.
get to really look at what's inside. Like, hey, that's great, but
you
you
know,
don't
man,
really get to walk in.
Man, I was just reminded of your salty tips. He's like, never mind. No, I'm joking here, but no.
Well, my salty tips is I open the door for myself, but I
Right,
don't
it-
open the door for other people.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
No, no, that was it was a long time ago. But I just thought it was funny because I was like, hey, that reminded me of that. No,
But yeah, I mean, if gratitude is just opening the door,
Yeah.
and you're not you don't get the thankfulness part of it, then you never get to actually walk through the door to experience what's on the other side.
I love this. A couple of things you've said have been really, really helpful. Even as I'm going to be thinking.
he's
about,
like, oh, let me
no,
fix myself here.
right? I mean, I try to posture myself always in learning, right? So I'm sitting here now and I'm hearing you, and now I'm thinking, boy, the next time I'm grateful for something, I might picture being standing at the door. Well, I'm grateful, but am I going to take this a step further or not? Really, it's a choice. I have to be intentional
Right.
to walk through the door. I could just stand there and be grateful.
Who's preaching tomorrow? You're like, can I just
Yeah, can
step
I
in?
steal that?
Either that or just wait until Thanksgiving.
No,
and be like,
it's-
hey guys,
It's these visuals that you're saying, Matt, and John as well.
no,
It's
it's okay. It's only
putting-
Matt. It's fine.
it's putting it into action. I think that's the biggest thing I'm hearing right now. You know, we start out, we can't put things into action unless we do the first one, which is being grateful. So we start there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't end there, is what you're saying. It does not end there. It's that action
It
step.
can't end there. I mean,
Well, you're right.
it has to. There has to be an action because
Yeah.
if you get into, which we're getting into the next piece,
I knew it.
um,
Sorry.
gratitude and bitterness cannot share that same space. Like you can't be
Mhm.
you can't be bitter and you can't be grateful in the same space.
Yeah. Huh.
Right.
Wow.
One has to go.
Not sure I've thought of it that way.
You can't breathe clean air and then live in a smoke filled room.
I thought
Yeah.
that was the goal. No, no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No.
Or you can.
I mean, it's just gonna be miserable, but
Yeah, it doesn't work. Right. That's the point. Wow. Can't be. Say that again. You can't be grateful and no, you can't be thankful and bitter at the same time.
Yeah, well, gratitude and bitterness can't share the same space.
Yeah.
But you can't be grateful and bitter at the same time.
Yeah. Wow.
well, see, then I'm surprised he hasn't said this yet. Bitterness builds walls, where gratitude breaks them. Right?
Well, there you go.
You know, I mean, he's gotta share some of this, this info here because
Yeah.
God, basically, he can't steal all the glory here. No, I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
I like
No,
that,
but-
John.
No, I mean,
Say
no.
that again. Say that
Okay,
again.
so bitterness
Yeah.
builds walls. Gratitude breaks them.
Mhm.
Once
Absolutely.
I agree.
I wonder, just wondering, as you
Yeah.
say that, like we can get bitter about a lot of things in life. So if we have these, that would be a technique. That would be something proactive we could do in the midst of a bitterness to start being grateful and watch those bitterness walls come down. I mean that.
Sorry, no, I know what you're saying. No, it was the
Oh,
hand
you-
motions first. Like,
See my hands
you're
moving?
like, hey, let me do a little karate.
Well, I'm
chop here.
picturing the walls. My hands are going up right now. The
okay.
walls, like we get these walls of bitterness, or and you can even use other words too, bitterness, or we're hurt, or whatever. But when you bring in gratefulness, they can tear down those walls.
Mm.
And
Uh-oh.
maybe that is one of the,
Gorbachev,
maybe what
tear down,
Tear
tear
that
down that wall.
John said it. He gets
Hey,
he gets the
Yeah, that's right, man. I said it. No, I'm joking.
the,
No.
the
No.
glory here. But no, I'm just thinking of it in terms of like, wow, if I sense that I'm bitter or hurt or jealous or whatever, could gratefulness be one of the keys to tear those things down? Sounds like it is.
Well, I think it's. I mean, we've talked about this like when we first started this, but it's the world that we live in where negativity
Mm,
sells, right? Like outrage is what keeps us scrolling, and what keeps us tied to
Oh,
the news.
right.
Anger keeps us clicking on every single news link that we see. I mean, right now, if you see like, oh, Trump's in another Epstein email, like, oh, I gotta read that. Like, come on,
Yeah.
it's what every headline is designed to like make
It's-
us either mad or afraid, or
It's most
the
it's most of the
algorithms
news. Yeah.
are
Yeah.
rewarding all of our dopamine hits
Yep.
in our brain,
Yep.
and
Yep.
gratitude doesn't get clicks because it doesn't feed into this chaos, right? It dismantles it. So that's where gratitude isn't the easiest
It's-
option here. The
Nope.
negativity is because I said it very early on here, right? Like probably like a quarter of the way through this podcast, where we don't choose peace because it's boring. It doesn't do anything for our lives.
Yep.
We focus on this negativity because it raises the amount of drama that we have, and
Yeah.
we're so focused as a society
Oh,
on
it's
on this negativity. Like we're like, oh, there's another Trump. I gotta.
yep.
That's what we're doing. Like
Well,
every single news thing, and we go through this thing, and
yeah.
oh, somebody got stabbed in Manchester again. I got to look at it. Who was it? You know, it's like we have to do it.
You're right. As when I think about the news in general, it's always that, and then maybe little good thing at the end. I remember back when our church did a can drive, a big food drive for New Hampshire Food Bank, and I remember WMUR came out and they did this whole thing, and we knew we were going to be on there. But I waited the entire. This is
Yeah.
years ago. But I'm watching the entire news right from the beginning and then at the very end, after 28 minutes of all the nonsense going on.
We got
in our
about a minute
world.
and a half.
It was literally like, and da 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 da. I was like this cheery music and Life Church and these other organizations raising food for the food bank, and it was like this like moment, and they called it something. It was like I don't know what it was, but it sounded something really nice. But it's amazing you have to go through 28 minutes of
Right.
all the stuff that's going on and this and that, and it's just not like you're saying, Matt, it's just not even around us in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch cable anymore, but it's one of those things like you'll be watching a show or something like primetime, right? And it'll be like, it's not safe to go home at night. Check it more at 11, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Wow.
I can't go out at night anymore.
Right,
What is going on right now?
No, you're
Rabid dogs flying by. You're like, wait, what's going on with these dogs over here?
Rabid dogs might be in your neighborhood. Check more at 10, and you're like, what? You're like, oh my gosh, but
Well-
it doesn't feed the chaos, and that's where like it's that rebellion in your brain that you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm so focused on this, and gratitude just kind of hangs out, and it's like,
yeah.
hey, I'm down here, guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's peaceful down here. Come join me.
Well, I really like this one right here. It says, gratitude isn't denial, it's defiance. And I think right there, with the fact that it's saying, isn't denial, but it's defiance. I mean, we're talking about what we're just talking about with the news and everything else and all this chaos that we like to bring. And especially when, yes, I always love this world, but like the propaganda, right? We always have this propaganda of like all this information. We want to stir things. We want to see how people react.
Yeah.
And it's like you're saying, like, that glimpse of hope,
Mhm.
especially when, you might be like, okay, so yes, we have all these killings and all these things that just went on. And yes, by the way, we're about to have a nuke coming in. But by the way,
By the way,
we had saved this one baby from a falling tree.
exactly.
Back to you.
Exactly.
And you're like,
exactly.
Yeah.
What? No, what about this nuke that you just talked about? Like, and then you're like, oh, okay, great. It's about a baby. I'm not saying that it's not great. I'm just like, why did we just talk about all this stuff? And we're just like, oh, by the way, this baby is the last glimpse of like, okay, well, hey, look, we saved the day. Like it's a great story. Like,
Yeah.
okay, why? Why isn't it that we're talking about the greater things and those thankful actions?
Yeah.
Like those things that we're talking about here, and especially with the gratitude piece, where, having that defiance and like saying, okay, hey, we're breaking down that wall. You understand me? Like we're doing this, and we're not just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
And I think as we talk about this so far, it's we just can't pretend like the world isn't broken,
Mhm.
right? And we can't refuse to let this brokenness tell the whole story,
Mm.
right? It says that life's rough, but that's not all that it is.
Mhm.
Because again, we hopefully, as a goal here as a society, is that we don't let this define us, right?
Yeah.
We make that change. We
Yeah.
do these things to make it better. Okay, go ahead, Matt. 'Cause
I
know you're looking
I
at me.
actually like the next one because the next one is one that I've said for a long time because it's you can't live a grateful life while hosting a pity party.
That's true.
And it's the notes are great because it's one of the things that I've always tried to like look at myself being somebody who is on the worship team at church and
This is a good salty tip, by the way. Just saying.
because it's one of those things where you can't worship and whine at the same time.
Mhm.
And the two of those run on different frequencies.
Hmm.
So being one that does sound,
Mhm.
when you are in a point of worship, or if you're in a point of whining or stop whining, or that pity party, worship lifts you out of yourself.
Mm.
You're not focused on yourself. You're
Mm.
focused on God, or gratitude also does that, where you're not focused on yourself. You're focused on
Yeah.
that thing or that person or that purpose that you're being grateful for. Whining keeps you stuck inside your own kind of echo chamber.
Yeah.
Like one will lead to peace, the other leads to basically paralysis.
Right.
Wow.
So it's really the difference of
Hmm.
if I'm, I have the bass dropped in and I'm all plugged in and I'm up there and I'm ready, but like, oh, my back really hurts and
Yep.
like I got this going on and like, oh, my fantasy football team is tanking right now and
Matt can't say a damn
but-
word about that. No offense.
That is me. That is me.
It's like,
Pastor Joe just beat me last week.
Yeah, right, right.
And man, you just find yourself whining. It's like, no, like right now I'm just stuck in my own echo chamber, and like I'm not in a moment of peace where I'm, in that moment where I should be like lifting myself
Mm.
up to God and finding that moment of peace. No, I'm basically like a vegetable in paralysis, just
Yeah.
hosting my own little pity party because I can't focus outside of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's when I think about my life, and this is for me, and this can be for anybody, by the way, not just because I'm a pastor, but it is one of the roles that I step into. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the roles I step into people's lives when they're in a bad place, when they're in a tough situation. And so in that midst of talking with them and hearing their story and trying to walk them through it, it's helping them not get stuck there. Yes, let's still feel the pain. Yes, it's still sad. Yes, this is not a joke. Um, but there is an element, like you're saying, Matt. We can't stay there. There is a hope. There is something in this to still be grateful for, right? And that's the part that I get to bring to the table in the midst of that conversation. And again, any one of us can be that person, right? As a friend,
Right.
we step into someone's stuff, but we can't get stuck there. That's what you're talking about. If we get stuck in that moment, we have to realize, and a lot of times it's help from another person. For me, it might be as a pastor. For all of us, it's as a friend, as a spouse, as a parent. We get to come into those moments and help people not get stuck there, and still see the hope, and still see that there is gratefulness in the midst of a situation that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's it's one of those things. I think this has kind of like the warning light of your emotional dashboard, right? Like when you find yourself bitter or angry or you're constantly drained, it's that check engine light, right? Like that comes on, and a lot of people will just be like, oh, whatever,
Yeah.
I actually saw a video where somebody put like black tape. It was like
Where?
it was like on TikTok or something.
yeah.
Like they put black tape and they're like, well, it's gone. No, it's not gone.
it's still there.
It's still there. Like it's you just stopped noticing it was there.
Yeah.
It's not that it disappeared.
Yep.
It's there.
Yep.
Gratitude is the fact that you're noticing like, oh, there's something here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thankfulness is kind of that action of like, okay, now I actually need to do something to
Yes.
get myself out of
Yeah.
this. And if you don't do both of them, then it's like we said before, it's really just an idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the light disappear.
Yep.
You're just kind of like driving with the check engine light on and hoping,
Yeah.
oh, my engine won't blow at some point,
No, it's true.
And Matt, you said the comparison was when you're on the music team at church, and so you're saying like when we worship, all of a sudden all those problems and things can be looked at in a new light, or you can be like brought to a new place, even not in a weird way, but like, oh wow, this life is bigger. Like I'm praising the God of the universe now. So you're saying that kind of that comparison there, and the same thing. It's like with gratitude, right? That's the thing that almost, I don't know, it sounds weird, like that snaps you out of it, but like makes you just start to think differently.
Right.
Like-
Yeah. And I mean, it's easy to be like, oh, the bass is heavy. Like it really hurts my back.
Oh yeah,
You just kind of get stuck in yourself, and it's like, man, am I just hosting my own pity party here, or should I actually like snap myself back into focus and figure out like why I'm actually here?
yeah.
Because if I'm sitting here with my bass on in the middle of worship, I should not be focusing on my back and oh, my back's hurting, and am I gonna win fantasy football this week? Like, I wonder how Puka Nakua is gonna do.
Yeah,
this,
he's like, yeah.
oh, there's
Don't
a
even start.
9:30.
Don't even-
There's a 9:30 game. I gotta make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
I'm not even 100% focused on worshiping at that moment, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
worship and all of that other junk is they vibrate at different frequencies. And if I'm going on different frequencies, if you know anything about sound,
Yeah.
those frequencies bounce off of each other
Yeah.
and they'll go off
Good point.
completely different directions
Point. Yep.
where I'm supposed to be over there
Yep.
and I am way the heck over
Yep.
here.
Yep.
And I'm not even where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And yes, one leads to peace and one leads to the direction that I should be in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of maybe where gratitude and thankfulness should bring me in. But I'm in this little pity party and I'm like, oh man, this kind of sucks. Like my back hurts and I'm not really playing good.
Yeah.
Like my fingers hurt and I'm getting carpal tunnel. Like my fingers can't even keep up. The song is too fast. Like I don't even like this song. Like what the heck is going on? Like they're not even singing that great. It's like,
But you know
like,
what, Matt? What's so cool is that like you could think like this is just affecting me, like if you decide to stay in that zone. But when you do push through that and you still, it actually, in your case, right, you're on a team that's trying to lead another whole group
Right.
of people sitting out in front of you into worship. Like you're literally affecting a whole bunch of other lives
right.
by making a choice. I'm just gonna
And
let it go.
pushing
not
pushing
gonna-
through that and like, you know what, I'm going to put all that stuff aside. And this is, I mean, it's a process for I'm sure all of us on the platform, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we go through all this because
Yeah.
I'm sure we all get up there and we all have our own stuff.
Yep.
But I think when we put all that stuff aside, and this is for everybody, not just for
Yeah.
if you're going to church and being on a worship team.
Oh yeah.
But I
Right.
mean, you put your stuff aside just for a second, and you're like, I really just got to focus on why I'm here.
Yep. Yep.
And the reason I'm here is to worship God and to lift Him up in praise
Yep.
through my bass, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
why I'm here.
Yep.
And pushing the rest of that aside. And when you do that, it's I mean, it's an amazing experience. Like when you're able to do that.
I'm just struck by realizing as you're talking that it just doesn't affect you. Like when you do that, it affects in the church context, worship, a whole bunch of people out there. So let's take this into the normal world, right? When you decide to be grateful for something, yes, it affects you, but now I think what I'm hearing is it actually could and does affect a whole bunch of other people
Oh yeah.
as well.
I mean, it could affect the people that you're working with
Yes,
at work.
yeah.
It could affect your friends, your family. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, I mean, if you end up going to the grocery store,
Yeah. Wow.
you could affect the cashier, the people that you run into. I mean,
It's
true.
I love that thought. I love thinking about gratefulness and expressing thankfulness, all this idea that we're talking about today, that it
it's
actually,
very hard for me to be grateful when I'm walking around Walmart. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Oh, you should hear him. No, I'm joking.
oh gosh.
You
Well,
should hear him.
I'll give you that one. But I just love
But if
that
I could find gratefulness in the middle of Walmart, that
If
would
you
be a
could.
miracle, and I would
Yes.
pray for that because
Yes.
oh,
well, because it affects, like we're saying, not just ourselves, but a lot of other people.
yes.
It's true.
So, wow, that's like another level, like another layer of
So the other
Gratefulness.
the question for you in this segment would be,
Yeah.
how does Scripture confront negativity and bitterness?
how does Scripture confront that? Wow.
You're like, man, I don't know what to say.
There are some scriptures here.
There
We can
What-
read
what
them. Do you want
tell
to
me-
take one?
Tell me what you think. I'll
Sure.
bounce. I'll
Oh,
bounce.
you
on what
want me to do one?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
do one, and
John,
I'll
let's
do another
go.
one.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Romans 12,
Yeah.
verse 2.
Yeah.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world,
Ooh,
but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Okay.
And then it says, gratitude is the renewal.
Read that first part again.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world.
So, when we think about living a Christian life, right? I mean,
Mhm.
Christian means you're a Christ follower. You're following Jesus. Hopefully, we know we're not perfect, but it's we've changed our lives, right? We move from being lost. We're lost in this world. We surrender our lives to Jesus, and so like we're on the journey. We'll say, right? We're saying, I'm a Jesus follower. I put Him first. I'm surrendered. So once we make that decision, right, it means that we're trying to live a different kind of life. And then if you pick up your Bible at all and read almost anything like that scripture, it's completely different than what the world is calling us to live for and the way that we're living. We talked about the world. We know the world and around us. If you want to be the best or you want to get here and there, you got to step on people, right? You want to get to the top, you have to, knock other people down, right? All these ways that we want, if we want to be something in this world. And then Jesus or scripture itself literally flips everything. It flips everything on its head. And I love the honesty of a verse like this. Let me go back to this verse. Do not conform. This is the word of God is literally challenging us as Jesus followers, right? It's saying, okay, you're a Jesus follower now. So here's the way, here's a new way that I want you to live. Again, it's always our choice, but do not conform to the ways of this world. So it's like, okay, it's like this check. It's like literally scripture saying, okay, don't do it.
No, you're right. Just
No, yeah.
instead of Nike going, just do it. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And there's plenty of things the Bible does say to do, but in this case, and we can see, all of us would agree here, I'm guessing, like this world is vastly different than the way Christ wants us to live our lives. And so this is a great challenge. Do not conform any longer, keep reading it, to the patterns of this world.
Yep. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
And there it actually gives us a way to do that. So we're going to have to transform our minds. And we all know when we're thinking about our minds, it's the way that we think.
Correct.
It's the way that we think.
And you said it earlier, mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Being
there
in
you
the
go.
moment.
being in the
You
moment.
know,
the
see,
way that it
Hey,
connects,
it's a circle.
the way that we
I
think.
actually like the next one too. And I'm going to skip the Philippians one because I like the next one.
Yeah.
Which is
course you do.
Ephesians 4:31 and 32,
Okay.
which is get rid of all bitterness.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a great start right there.
Be kind and compassionate to one another.
Oh, man.
And it
hard
says thankfulness softens what bitterness hardens.
See,
Goodness
that,
sakes.
that is right there. That what you just said
Yeah.
is one of the hardest things to do.
One. Yeah, we'll put it up there.
It's up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, can you start with get rid of all the bitterness? Can you start with that? I'm joking. He's like, no. Okay.
Well, that one's not an easy one.
No.
I mean,
especially in Walmart, right?
oh boy,
No,
it's definitely not easy at Walmart.
no,
But
no. Yeah, but go ahead.
no, it's definitely it throws it right in there. Like get rid of all bitterness. I mean, it says it right in plain English. If you don't understand that,
There's so many scriptures that are like so like drop dead or not drop dead, drop mic. Wow, that was weird. Drop mic moments. Get rid of. There's another one that says this: do not worry about anything. Like, okay, like is that even possible?
yeah, right.
Well, I don't know if it's possible, but I know that the scriptures say it, and that's our challenge.
Yeah.
So then it's figuring out how to do that. But yeah, there's all these drop mic moments in the Bible where it's just like this way of living that I realize I cannot do that in my own strength, obviously. So I need Christ to help me do that. But there's a challenge in God's word that I think is just all these challenges, right? Don't worry. Get rid of all bitterness. I like the idea of getting rid of. In other words, it already assumes that you might have some. And there's actually a little bit of a process that you
Yeah.
might have to go through
Yeah.
to get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, it said, and it follows it up with the be kind and compassionate to one another.
Yeah.
So
And that's that thankfulness part, right? That's the thankfulness
Comes in right there. Yeah.
that comes in. That's what softens that bitterness.
So here's your challenge. You go to Walmart next
Oh
time.
my. Oh
and then
wow.
you be compassionate and kind to somebody in Walmart, and that's your
Wow.
So I can just walk around and be like, "Thank you,
Just
thank you,
that.
Thank you.
Wow.
thank you."
And you will be escorted.
I want to thank
out of
you for
Walmart.
standing in the middle of the aisle. I want to thank you for your bunny that you brought into Walmart.
Thank you for the pajamas that you're wearing. Right now.
Have a
Sorry.
great day. Why don't you get your stuff and get out? Okay, thanks.
Uh,
I feel like you'd be.
I feel
actually
like
a
that's
great-
more bitter than
Yeah,
what
yeah.
than what that scripture was saying.
yeah. I
But
think
anyways,
that's
but
not-
yes,
that's not right.
gratitude for what's next.
Yep.
So, it's easy to throw blame, and I think that's what we do as a society as well.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the next thing. Like we blame people, we blame the system. I mean, it's easy to, it's the government, right?
Yep.
It's Trump.
Yep.
Let's blame everything. We even blame God.
Yep.
We look at what hasn't happened, the
Yep.
job that didn't come through, a relationship that fell apart, the plan that never took off. We decide it must be someone else, right? Like
Yep.
it's always somebody else. Gratitude forces a different perspective. And it says, I may not love how things turned out, but I can still see what's working.
Mm.
Like we can always see like, oh, this is missing. I need this, or, but it takes, I think, a certain level of maturity to appreciate what's already like emotion.
Yeah.
It is amazing. My wife and I, we joke about this, not in a weird joking way, but just like an, I don't know, I don't even want to say like joking, but like if a car will go down, if we'll start to complain, then we start to realize, wait, I still have another car. Like, why in the world would I be complaining about, or some other small thing like that we think is like earth shattering? But when we think about the rest of the world, maybe like put things in perspective, it's amazing the things that we often will complain about
Right.
that are like, I mean, we all know, even as Americans, if they say if you own a bike, at the least, you're one of the richest people in the entire world, like the top 1 or 2%. And yet,
Yeah.
like, even just take that one little thought as Westerners. Like, seriously, I'm going to complain because my Wi-Fi went out, or because Starbucks red cups ran out, or
Well, I can already imagine. Well, so I'm just thinking of Matt for a second when it comes to the Wi-Fi. He's like, "Dang it! What the heck, man? I got the stupid Wi-Fi doesn't want to work anymore." And no, I'm joking. But no, but I
You
even
mean I can't stream HBO Max right now?
exactly right.
like, why? Come
Like
on,
that's
man.
your
Why is the
that's
Wi-Fi
your
down?
problem. That's your
Yeah.
complaint. Are you kidding?
I need to play on PlayStation 5 right now,
No,
man.
come on, man. I'm gonna go online right now playing Borderlands. No, I'm joking. No, the biggest thing is that I also think of this too with my line of work is that a lot of my wouldn't say problems, at least with the clientele that I work with veterans and particularly, but again, there's a huge homeless population right now, and especially I know in Nashua and of course, really anywhere really in New Hampshire, but the biggest challenge is that when people say, well, I wish I could get this like beautiful mansion over here, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, well, okay, let's look at the economy for a second. Can you actually afford that?
Mhm.
Nobody can actually afford anything right now. But,
Yep.
when people are like, well, you know what? I'm just be grateful for literally a 1-bedroom apartment or even
yeah.
a studio for that
Yes,
matter.
yes.
I would be like, yeah, I would love to get certain individuals in. But again, the income doesn't help with what they're making to be able to, afford these homes or these apartments. And so, when people complain about like those, like we're talking about, I think to myself, I'm like, I think about like even here, like I know there's times where I'm like, oh man, I was like, I wish I had this, but then I'm like, I'm thinking of other people that I'm like working around or doing whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be, being selfish or being that, ungrateful, in that sense. And so like I try to, get back down to earth and say, okay, listen, I'm like, I'm here right now. I have a roof over my head. I have a vehicle. I have these things that most people do not have.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
And that, we talk about all this stuff and it's like, when you're saying like even just having a bike, and having that, I mean, you're right. I mean, I see too many people will walk, I know at least with Nashua. So like if you're walking from basically Daniel Webster Highway
Yep.
all the way to the like almost going into, we'll call it Merrimack, and that's a long walk to be going from one side of literally basically Nashua all the way down to the other, and just like it would be like in Nashua or in Manchester.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy, and we're sitting here like, okay, well, yeah, my car broke down. And you're like, well, imagine if you had to walk literally every single place you had to go, and guess what? Oh wait, the weather that's outside right now. Guess
Yep.
what? We have a home. Okay, well, guess what? Yeah, it's snowing right now. Oh, okay, well, at least you don't have to worry about the snow. You have to go camp somewhere or do anything like that. So like these are the kinds of things that it's nice to talk about because these are the things that we don't,
Yeah.
mention, and especially like we're, how we're talking about it now.
Well, yeah, especially on the topic of being grateful. Like we have so much to be grateful for. And here's the thing, even if we didn't have a bunch of stuff,
Right.
right? I mean, I've been on mission trips around the world and I've seen people with literally nothing, right? They have a little home about 10 by 10 foot room with 10 or 15 people that live there.
They,
Well, it'd be basically this room.
Like,
well, the size of your bathroom, probably.
yes.
Oh, yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And they're,
Which is-
and they're doing what they do and they get food and they're living day to day. And
Basically, I've been to Guatemala too. So
Okay, yeah.
I've been to both Danielle and I've been to Guatemala on mission trip, and it's like, like basically a square
yes.
with a concrete floor, no bed.
Yep.
It's like nothing.
But you know what's interesting? Have you found this? They're not like ungrateful people. They don't even.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You would think
You would think so.
for people that have like nothing in their house, like, and it's not like they have like electricity or Wi-Fi.
Yep.
They're not like, oh boy, I got nothing. Like,
Right.
No, they see us coming and they're like, "Hey, come on in," and it's like,
They want
"Come on in
actually-
where?"
They want relate. That's good. I find
come
they-
in, come
they
in
want-
where? I'll just stay right here,
Yeah.
thanks.
What they
'Cause-
want is relationship,
Yeah.
first of all, and that again, that's a whole
Very
other topic, but-
sociable and like
Yeah.
they're talking to
Yeah.
us. I mean, I'm not talking to them because I don't speak Spanish or whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, they're talking. I mean, we're praying with them.
Yeah.
Like they're just very like, yeah, come on over, and
yeah.
or we're talking and
I'm going to throw something in. I know it's probably out, but it has to do with what we're talking about. There's a book called When Helping Hurts. When Helping Hurts. And it's really for those who go on mission trips, right? And they feel like they got to go in and they got to so they'll go into a fishing village area and they'll realize, oh my goodness, people need fishing nets or something. And there's not enough of them and they're struggling and all this stuff. Well, they'll show up with 1,000 fishing nets. And they think, we just saved this fishing village. Like we did awesome stuff as, I'll just say Americans, because this is who the book is talking to. Yeah. We want to come in, we want to fix the problem, but we've actually hurt them a ton because there was the people that were actually working, that were making the fishing nets, that was their life and the way that they had their families live, and they were providing those things. The point is it's amazing that we're coming in as Westerners sometimes, and we want to fix things, but it's not about stuff. And so we're being grateful, thankful. It's not just about the stuff. It's about life. It's about people, relationships. It's about the world that we live in. It's for God himself, for the future life to come even. Like that's something to be thankful and grateful for.
yeah, yeah.
It's those kind of things. So it's just interesting thought. I don't know how we got going on this, but you did it, Matt.
He's like, and it
This
goes
was a
back the other way.
Great little tangent
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I love it because it all just ties into what we're talking about today.
Well, yeah, and I mean we got a little bit of time, so we gotta go into our blueprint challenge here. So we'll
Ooh.
probably cut a little bit of this,
Okay.
short. But I mean, the gratitude isn't necessarily tied to our circumstances; it's tied to perspective.
Yeah. Good.
Because we can't always control what's going to happen in our lives, but we can control how we see it. So whether you do believe that God's guiding your plan, or whether you think you're writing it, line by line,
Yep.
gratitude is the fuel that will keep you moving. And one of the quotes that I was using with this comes from Terminator 2.
Okay.
Of course it does.
Of course it does, because I love Terminator.
Plus, it's geeky enough, so go for it.
Well, we're a geek podcast.
I know,
so
that's
why,
why.
why wouldn't I put a quote in there? But there's a quote from Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, and I thought that this was kind of I've always loved this quote, but she says, "There's no fate but what you make," and I've always loved that quote. And I think when you have gratitude and thankfulness in mind, it's about making one being worth thankful for.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, the future doesn't owe you anything, but it will respond to your mindset.
Mhm.
And whether it's faith, focus, or just plain stubborn hope, living a thankful life changes how you face what's next.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna be a bump on a log and living that
Yeah.
life of like,
Yeah.
me, oh woe is me, and that pity party, then that's what your future is gonna look like.
So, man, are you gonna go back to school to become a pastor, or what's going on? Because I feel like this is like a calling for you right now.
Probably not, but
Yeah, you say that, but just saying, you might have an endorser right here.
so we do have some scriptures on being thankful for the future.
Okay.
I didn't really look at these ahead of time, but I will do the middle one, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
Jeremiah 29:11 is one of them. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Gratitude for the future is trust in his plan, not control of your own.
Yeah.
Mm.
One of my favorite people often will make this one of their favorite verses in the Bible. It's so encouraging. I mean, this was spoken to the prophet Jeremiah, so this was a direct prophetic word for him. God knows the plans he has for him, and if you got to read the whole story for the context. But what we can do as Christ followers is we can look at this and we can claim this verse, because there's other verses around the Bible that actually can what's that word? Confirm what it says. There's other verses that will say the same thing, that God knows you, he loves you, he has a plan for your life. He will lead you, he will guide you. So many verses like that. So I love that verse. He knows the plans that he has for us for the future. And Our
Yeah.
part is to trust him. We got to lean into that. We got to trust him for it in the
Mhm.
good, the bad, the ugly.
Hey, whoa, movie reference? I mean, no.
Oh, is that a-
Good,
The
is
good,
that-
bad, and the ugly.
Oh, okay.
Well, you didn't. No, that's
Oh.
a good old Clint Eastwood movie back in the
You're
day.
right.
Oh,
Wow.
long
I didn't
time
even
ago.
mean to
Oh, look
do
at that!
Wow.
Boom! I just had a
Boom.
little drop mic.
Boom, boom,
Drop mic.
boom.
There we go.
You weren't even alive then, John.
You're
I probably
dang
wasn't
right.
even-
I wasn't alive.
I probably wasn't even alive. Then.
I think nobody in this room was alive at that point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like in the 60s. I think. Whenever it doesn't matter.
It doesn't-
Anyways,
yeah, it
no.
doesn't matter.
I was going to say this. Okay, you know what? I'll do the Hebrews. Hebrews 11, verse 1.
Hmm.
Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. Gratitude is faith in motion.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah. Any thoughts on that?
I love it. Other than I love it. I love it. I mean, all these verses just speak such hope, right? I would, you would think God is giving us hope. He's letting us know that when we put our faith in him and in things that we haven't even seen yet, right?
Mhm.
That's what faith is, something that's going to come about that we haven't seen yet. And then, of course, we trust him for those things. And even when we back up into Jeremiah, like the hope of the future, right? The plans to give you a hope. There's hope again,
Mm.
hope in both scriptures. And of course, Jeremiah talks about our future,
Yeah.
A future is going to be a very long time,
course.
after this life. And so that's something important to be thinking about and being aware of, that there is a life beyond this life. And the things that we choose to do in this life really make a difference for us, for our relationship with God, and for others. And of course, I love the topic today, gratitude. That's what's going to make actually an eternal difference.
Mm.
When we are grateful
I like that.
and when we're actually thankful through it, it actually is going to change, like we talked about earlier. It's going to change not just us, but it changes the people around us. It affects the people around us.
Mm.
Again, the word if, right? If we choose to step into that, right?
Right.
If we choose to take it from awareness, to actually an action step, right? We're aware of gratefulness, but will we be thankful? That's all of our choices. We all get to make those choices
Yeah.
every day, and they're not easy.
No,
Trust me,
they're
I'm
definitely
I'm
not.
not saying this is easy stuff, but
Nope.
But truly, it's a choice that you can make. And boy, when you make a choice like that, especially in your pain, that's huge. It's almost like being generous, right? I
Mm.
think about that even in being generous. It's great. It's easy to be generous, would you not say, when you have extra? But when you are generous, even in your own need, see how like it goes to that's a whole nother
Oh, yeah, that's a
level.
whole
When
nother,
you
yeah.
give generously to somebody and you have your own needs, you sacrifice something so others can have. It's the same thing with gratitude. When you're still grateful in the midst of your junk, in the midst of your mess, and when things are really, really bad, and you're still saying, "This is really bad, God, but I still trust you, and I'm still thankful for you." Or again, in your relationships or wherever, it's just a choices we get to make each and every day.
So it really sounds like he needs to get his own mic, his own setup, and Matt, you're going to be a sound guy from here on out. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, I do
anyways.
not want Matt to just be my sound guy. He is just
So
Oh,
you,
there you go. Oh, look at
so you're
this.
already doing another co-host. I
I'm-
like it.
some
Oh,
speaking some good truth. And
boy.
you too, John.
Oh, look at this.
is-
Oh, boy.
oh boy, we're
we-
doing a trio. Is that what we're
Yeah,
doing now?
this is-
We've got another podcast, I guess.
Oh
this has
boy,
been
this is
great.
going to be interesting. Then we're going to have to figure this out.
So we have our Evolve Blueprint Challenge, which is about thinking it forward. So we are challenging all of you listeners out there,
Hmm.
all 7 of you. I'm just kidding. There's more than 7.
Wait. I'll get my wife.
So okay, my bad. 8. Yes.
8. So yeah, we are going to challenge all of you people listening right now to write down 3 future gratitudes.
Whoa.
So these are things that you are thankful for before they happen.
Whoa.
Whoa, right?
That's
That's
Ooh.
that's intense, right? So
no
ex-
seriously.
so some
that's
examples.
good. Yeah.
So these are not me. I'm just saying examples, just in general. So I'm thankful for the peace that I'm building. I am thankful for relationships I'm going to repair. I'm thankful for the person I'm becoming.
Mm.
So
Wow.
these are things that you are writing down. They're things that you're being grateful for, that you're thankful for
Mhm.
before they are going to happen. These are future things. So if you are in that moment where, like, yeah, there is a relationship that I need to repair, okay, well, I'm thankful for that relationship that I am going to repair.
Yep. I like that.
So, Matt, I keep saying this. Are you sure you don't want to go to school to because? Because I'm telling you, you
Hey.
got a drive here. I'm just throwing it out there, bud.
I don't know. There are a couple. There's one scripture, but it's Philippians 4, 6, and 7. In everything, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Gratitude is both an act of faith and a spiritual declaration.
Yep.
It's thanking God for promises before they arrive.
Whew, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an act of that is a step of faith. That is an action, right? And that's what faith is. Again, what we talked about earlier. It's believing something, before it even happens, and that we have to be actively involved in that. This is such a great verse.
I remember a story. I think it. I mean, there's a few stories like this, but I think one of them was I believe Jim Carrey did this, where he wrote a check for himself for $1 million.
Oh yes, I did hear about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really a thankfulness thing, but this is kind of like one of the things. Like he believed so much in himself. He obviously at that point did not have $1 million, but he knew he was going to be a success. So he was like, I'm going to write myself $1 million check, and one day I'm going to cash it.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like the same thing. Like you're writing a check for yourself,
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
and this is what you're doing.
In faith. Yeah.
Look at that, a chip. Wow, Matt. See what
Man.
is going on with you today? There's something going on.
Hey, I'm
Are
on
you-
a roll.
Is there a light coming down right now? Is it like? Oh,
Matt,
I'm on a roll.
Matt, how do you tie Jim Carrey and just tie him right there?
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey,
with
a
a-
check for
with
yourself."
a scripture verse.
And then he's like,
Boom. Wow.
That's it.
Mic drop, right? Not Mike dead. Mic
Yeah,
drop.
yeah. No, not Mike dead.
Mic drop. No, that's great. That's such a great visual to think about.
Look at him being all poetic.
Hey,
Hey,
it just came to my mind
More
that
philosophical.
story,
Yeah.
that story of him. I mean, there's so many others.
yeah,
Celebrities just banking on themselves.
Yeah.
And it coming to fruition, but it is one of those things when you think of being grateful and being thankful.
Yeah.
When you saying like, yeah, I do have a relationship that I need to repair, or
Yeah.
I'm in so much chaos. Okay, well, how about you start being thankful for the peace that you will have in the future,
Yep.
instead of just, oh, I'm in this chaos right now.
Yeah.
I'm just super focused on.
Yeah.
Be thankful for the peace that's coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
And eventually that peace will
Yeah.
come. You
Yeah.
will find that you'll get it.
Mm.
But if you never put it out there,
Yep.
like if Jim Carrey, I'm sure he would have still been a success if he never wrote that check. But it was the physical action of him writing out that $1 million check. It was just a stupid little thing.
Yeah.
But in the moment, he was like, no, I'm literally banking on myself
Yeah.
by writing this check. And he ended up cashing it when he had that $1 million.
And who knows? That could have been the very thing that drove him by writing out that. So maybe it actually we don't know this. We're making this up, but maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe that's what it took. And when you talk about this idea of what was the first even question you were saying about how we would project out that we're going to fix this relationship, right? Putting that out there as a thought to actually go and
Yeah.
do that, like that might be the very thing that changes. That changes if we do it or not.
Yeah.
That's that action step. I like that. I like taking the moment, writing down, what is it, 3 things?
Yeah, three future gratitudes.
future, yeah.
Things you're already grateful or thankful for before they happen.
So why don't we say this? We're gonna wrap things up here, but I'm gonna do a little closing for you real quick. So gratitude is the blueprint, right? And that's kind of our main drive and focus that we've been talking about here. It's how you build hope when everything around you feels unstable. When you choose gratitude and thankfulness, you're choosing faith over fear. You're saying, God, I trust you with what was, what is, and what's coming next. Because before the turkey coma hits, remember, There's no fate but what you make. So again, make one worth thanking for. Right? That's just me. I mean,
Okay.
that sounds pretty good to me, in my opinion. But go ahead, Matt.
So yeah, I mean, this is the week of Thanksgiving, so we just want to throw this out there that we wish you all a happy Thanksgiving,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
you know, as you're scarfing down your
Thanksgiving.
your turkey and your stuffing, and you make sure there's cranberry sauce, because if there's not cranberry sauce, flip the tables, because there should be
Exactly.
cranberry
Because
sauce.
how
Should be.
dare you not have that cranberry
Right.
sauce in there?
So as you're scarfing
Wow.
down your Thanksgiving dinner, just remember to be thankful. You know, just
You know what? And also, again, show that gratitude. Show that gratitude with that thankfulness, with the actions,
Yes.
the things that we've been talking about. But before we go, Pastor Joe, I'm going to mention this because we like to, we always like to shout out for certain people and stuff like that. So the biggest thing for you, it's up to you. If you would like, you can mention on here real quick, like about the church or anything like that. So if anyone wants to check out the church, that way we can, they know who you are and like what church it is and so on and so forth.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Well, we're located in downtown Manchester in one of the mill buildings, 150 Dow Street, Life Church. If you want to find out more information, it's mylifechurch.com is the website. That's a great place to start. Check out who we are, what we believe, what we do. I would say we're super involved in our community. It's super important to us. Also, I'm privileged to be able to co-pastor Life Church with my wife, Abby. And typically, we preach every other Sunday. Maybe one of us will preach a series. I'm grateful for everyone that's at our church that serves. We have a kids ministry there. We have a cafe when you first come in, free coffee, free tea. And again, dressing casual, dressing up, however you want to dress is fine. You're walking into an old mill building, and we're just there to grow in our faith with Jesus. And it's great. I love it. I love that this is what God's called me to do, and thankful to do this. Thankful for both of you actually attending Life Church and being part of our family. Right? We're as Christ followers, we're on the journey together. So my role as pastor, I have certain things that I do. Right? I lead people. I encourage people. I'm there for some of the things that pastors do. But at the end of the day, I'm a dad. I'm a father. Right? I'm a husband. I'm a man who faces temptation and struggles and everything like all of us do. And I'm not perfect, but I'm on the journey. And again, that's why I say to both of you guys, thank you for being on the journey with me. And thanks for inviting me here.
Of course. And I was going to say, that
This
was
is-
beautifully said. I mean, if I was about to tear up there for a second, I'm like, come on, Pastor Joe, stop it.
Don't do that.
No, but again, closing up, I mean, again, we love having guests like you, of course, Pastor Joe, because again, this is what helps us grow. So again, we want to shout out to, again, Life Church. Hopefully, I'm not going to say anything, but if he was to, preach and be like, hey, by the way, my friends over at Geeks From The Multiverse, no. It's up to you. We just want to make sure that, you get the word out there because, again, we just want to show that appreciation with everybody else. And again, we're just going to mention this real quick. Yes, so when it comes down to our website, you can check us out. You can follow us. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick. It's a little fist bump, okay? It's going to be follow, interact, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Wow.
Yes,
There you
that's what we
go.
did.
Wow,
Yeah, I
you're
know.
really good with
No,
that.
I know
now.
because there's been a time where
Yeah.
it was bad. I didn't
Yeah,
really
I
know.
know.
But basically, the point is here is that you can follow us on the website. You can go on our social media pages like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that fun stuff. You can basically go on the website and you can actually find some interesting links, some different resources that we do, at least with
Yes.
Evolve.
There's a whole Evolve page.
Correct. Yes, and there's different, of course, the other big thing is I know with the holidays coming up, we have our merch store, we have some other stuff. So, just like you guys are doing your little merch thing, we're also doing some merch as well. And so I know Matt's definitely been working on maybe not so much as of lately, but there has been some stuff that we've had in the past. We'll probably just be like, all right, here you go, guys. Here's our merch store again, and
Oh, that's
do
awesome.
some Christmas stuff. But anyways, until next time, boys and girls.
Stay geeky, 'cause we're geeks from the multiverse.